Okay, so we got the book here, Ruth. We are jumping into the book of Ruth, guys. So jump in, just go grab your Bible and let's go, or your quad, so we can read this. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled. So they say that in the days when the judges ruled. They say that because there were times in Israel's life where judges ruled and there were times where kings ruled. Judges ruled like Samuel and Samson. Those guys were judges, and Gideon, those guys were judges in the land. But then there comes a time after when Samuel comes on the scene, and all the people, they're like, hey man, we want a king. We need a king. Because everybody else around us, they got kings. So we need one. Everybody else is doing it, let's do it. So then Samuel goes to the Lord, and then the Lord's like, well, give the people what they want. But tell them this, the king's gonna be mad. He's gonna tax you. He's gonna take your daughters. He's gonna take your sons and send them off to war and blah, blah, blah. We're seeing that right now. Y'all think we don't live under a king? Well, welcome to modern day life, where we just call everything what it's not. Anyways, this is in the time where there's judges. Sorry for that tangent, but I don't really apologize. Anyways, now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land. Let me wet my whistle. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left, and her 2 sons. So now it's just Naomi and her 2 sons. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. And the name of one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. Here comes enter main character to book. And they dwelt there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died, also both of them, and the woman was left of her 2 sons and her husband. So now it's just Naomi, Ruth, and Orpah. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. Man, if there's a dearth in the land, or if there's a famine in the land, and you're like hearing that there's bread somewhere, that's like hearing there's Zion in the other side of the country when the zombie apocalypse happens or something. You know what I mean? Or in the Matrix, you hear that there's a city Zion, and you're like, oh, let's get down there. Even though in the Matrix, everybody knows where Zion is because that's how they get jacked in or whatever. So that was a bad analogy. Anyways, I'm going to stop right there, verse 6. Now let's move on to verse 7. I don't like the number 6. Sorry. Verse 7. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. So they left Moab, and they went to Judah, because they want bread, because why not? They're hungry. Everybody gets hungry. So we'll stop right there, verse 7. You know what I'm saying? We'll start on verse 8 tomorrow. This is a really good book. Really good book. I love you guys. And, hey, won't take any more of your time. So, I love you.